Oh hey, in Hawaii we like to eat. Here in the mainland we call this rice ball. In Japan they call this musubi. In Hawaii we call this musubi. Now, how does this equate to a channel around AI and agentic behaviors? Well, let's start episode 0 and find out, shall we?
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here for episode 0 of this new channel. My name is Gaven, and I'm here to teach, to demonstrate, and to talk about this thing called AI for the average guy like me. I have done something very interesting over the last couple of months it's really important to me, I felt, to take a moment to be able to share this information with all of you out there so maybe you can do exactly what I did and apply it to problems, to ideas, to concepts, to anything that you may need either for your business or for your personal life. I'm going to take a moment here and actually share with you some personal reasons why I'm doing this. This is actually very, very important to me for a lot of various reasons. I was born in Hawaii and I came up here to the States decades ago. Over that period of time, I've worked for a lot of various companies, small companies, medium companies, very, very large global enterprise companies, leading IT infrastructure services. Over that period of time, if there's one thing that I learned, teaching, educating, giving back to others, although the success metrics and things that we do from a leadership perspective for businesses where it comes to cost savings, service delivery, problem solving are important, don't get me wrong. Being able to give back to others is equally or more important. And it's a philosophy that I've held for a very, very long time. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to find a way where I could have a global stage, a classroom where I can actually share things that I'm thinking, things that I've thought about. How did I get here, for example? There have been times where I have actually spent personal time with people. They have moved on to other companies. They grew in their own right. They became successful. They had families. And because their connection to me, they became successful. There's no better feeling in the world than that. When I was growing up, as my father came out of IBM, he actually shared with me this sign that has the word think on it. And I've had it ever since. I've had it sitting up on my wall in my den. I'll look at it all the time that I'm in there. And I've always wondered and thought about, what does that mean? Right? Think, I think everybody knows what think means. But this sign sitting up there was very, very significant in a lot of ways. And it didn't really dawn on me until I started getting into this AI space. And here's what think means. It actually comes from IBM, from Dr. J. Watson, back in the 1930s, 1940s. And the saying that he had was, knowledge is the result of thought, and thought is the keynote of success in this business or any business. Now, business, in my opinion, doesn't only mean business. It also means your life. It means your personal endeavors. So think can actually be applied in a lot of different ways, not just from a business aspect. And that's what I discovered as I was going through this journey over the last several months with this epiphany of what AI is able to bring and to be able to, I would say, deliver when you're able to open up your mind and bring forward ideas that you've always wanted to bring forward before. If there's one thing that I want to point out before we continue to get into this particular series, I am not a programmer or developer by trade. I'm an IT infrastructure leader. I've always wanted to develop something. I used to have this theory where if you're able to program and if you're able to develop software, the world is at your fingertips. So let's talk about the basic problem that this series is going to be about. Now, again, I want to remind you, what we're about to go through in this series, that is not the only solution to be solved here. This is just an example. Years ago, when I was leading a global IT infrastructure organization at a large company here in the Washington State area, I remember sitting down with some of my engineers and we were just whiteboarding or hypothesizing. What it will take for us to build a system that can manage independently of who the vendor is, a series or a mixture of different IT systems, and what it will take to do that, how difficult or complex would it be? Granted, the technology at the time wasn't quite there. It would still require a lot of elbow grease. It would require actually quite a bit of resources, manual programming, manual development. It actually was going to be quite difficult to do at the time. The technology has since evolved. Speaking from personal experience, most IT systems today only watch. They don't think. They still require human intervention. They still require people or operators to watch monitors, to watch dashboards, to take actions based on alerts, based on red, yellow, green status and icons. This system that we're going to build in this particular series of videos that I'm putting together will actually show you how we can take this to a whole other level using technologies today. The environment that we're going to be working in involves a small, isolated lab environment that has multiple IT devices in it from different vendors. As we're going through this series, I'm going to show you directly how you can build these systems on your own. And the system is going to be able to do 4 very fundamental things. It's going to be able to observe. It's going to be able to decide. It's going to be able to act, which is going to be really amazing when you see this. And of course, finally, it's going to be able to verify the actions and that the environment that it's being monitored and acted upon is behaving the way that you instructed. Now, again, I'm going to show you how to do this without being a data scientist, an AI engineer, or even a software developer, or even being a systems engineer. It's a lot easier than I would have ever anticipated in my entire career. It's really amazing. It started off as being more fascination for me. Then all of a sudden, it became an obsession. And out of the obsession, I can see the problems that this could solve. I can see the enablement of how it can empower people like myself, like yourself, and being able to take and harness this technology that's available today, be able to imagine what you need to do in order to solve problems for your businesses or even for your personal endeavors, and to be able to take it for yourself without having to spend a lot of money, whether it's for a software developer or whether it is you're buying these platforms or subscribing to it yourself. You can do it on your own. Welcome to my workspace, everybody. This is where we'll be conducting majority of the demonstrations, the workshops, the education, and lessons as we go through the series that I have outlined here within this channel. Here, we'll also be going over the practical components of these lessons, starting off with the hardware that this environment is running on. The one thing that I'll show all of you over here, and you can see it, this is running on a small little consumer grade NAS that's running actually in my closet. 6 5400 RPM hard drives in it. It has a few SSD drives in there. You'll see over here that it also has a 8th generation i7 in it. It has 64 gigs of RAM. I'm using that as a way of being able to stage a lot of these systems that I'm building. But more importantly, especially as we get into the LLM, you're going to see, over here is my GPU card, you're going to see that this is running on an old NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti with only 4 gigabytes of VRAM on it. This is where it's going to get a lot of fun. As we start working through the series, this is where the concepts or the ideas meets the practical. We're going to walk through building a full, what we call level 5 agentic system using a large language model, which you will host. Well, I'll show you. You'll be able to host on this small little consumer grade system that I just talked about, right? And you can do it yourself on your hardware as well. And this system will be able to, and you'll see it, observe what's going on within this environment, decide on what to do, act, and then, of course, be able to verify on its actions. It's really, really amazing as you see this, and unlocks potentials unlike anything any of us have seen before. All right, where is this all going? So let me wrap this up here. So there are 6 phases as a part of this series. Phase 1, I call it level 0. It's called observation. We're going to teach it to see. Level 1, it's going to be about this showing how the system makes decisions. I call it teaching it to think. Level 2, it's action, teaching it to move. Level 3 is verification, trusting but verifying. Level 4, mentor mode. This is when it starts to learn from us. This is where it's going to get really interesting, and it's going to start opening up all sorts of possibilities for you as you begin seeing this. And of course, level 5, I call it child mode. And this is when it begins to learn, act, and behave on its own. I'd love to skip ahead to level 5. Trust me. It's really, really fascinating, but I truly believe until we actually walk through and step through these building blocks, it's all going to come together, and it's going to become very, very easy for everybody to understand what is happening at level 5. Because trust me, I didn't understand it at the very beginning either. But as I walked through these steps, it became very, very clear to me. And at that point, sky's the limit. Finally, as I've been whiteboarding and thinking about this series, as of right now, I'm thinking that I'll have a cadence of roughly 1 video every 2 weeks. It does take a lot of work to prepare for each one of these phases. However, as I'm beginning to pick up the pace, maybe I can get to a weekly cadence, but for now, expect maybe 1 every 2 weeks. But as I do this, if there's one thing that I'm thinking about is how do I make sure that this not only is fun, but a way of being able to impart the passion, the interest, the excitement that I've picked up on this particular topic to all of you. So as you're able to pick this up, you're able to apply it and embody it within yourself, and to be able to take it forward with whatever ideas that you may have. At the very end, I do want to make sure to thank my father for bringing this think concept forward that I've had here for all these years, where it now really makes sense to me. And, again, this is me being able to share and educate with all of you. Welcome to the video series, and I look forward to seeing all of you and hearing from all of you on the next episode. Thank you very much.